Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
And joining us for this action-packed episode is Cody Geiler.
Hey, how's it going?
And Coup Master Coup.
Hello there.
Welcome back.
What's
Of course you had to say
happening?
that.
Of course. So awesome.
Look, I'm just going to say this up the top. I'm not sure I've been this more excited about Star Wars.
Whoa.
This whole day I've been bouncing off the walls because, of course, the footage came out. But then just even before that, not being at D23, which is what we're going to talk about, all the reveals that came at D23. But, I mean, the fact now that truly Ewan McGregor's coming back is unbelievable.
Feel like sleep easy.
Very cool.
Haven't had a good night's sleep for years.
Yeah.
Wandering.
Transponder 3 is not going to work out. Or train spotting, whatever it's called.
Train spotting, yeah. So that's what we're going to dive into this episode is all the D23 goodness, which basically centers around all the Disney Plus stuff. The Galactic Starcruiser experience, which some of these guys I think are a little in the dark about a little bit. But I'll break that down. And then, of course, we will focus mainly on this the Rise of Skywalker, which... I mean, the poster was a big reveal too this weekend. But
the rise of my blood pressure.
And then you got the what is it? What do they even call it? It's not a trailer. I guess it's a trailer, right?
It's a special look.
Saga
Special
Sizzle?
look.
Or
Yeah.
something?
Saga
I've heard
Sizzle.
I've heard it called that. But
Saga Sizzle.
Saga Sizzle.
So we'll get into all that stuff. So let's just get going. D23 this weekend in Anaheim, which is where Celebration is going to be held next year, about a year from now, right? August of 2020. D23 dropped there. A lot of big announcements, not only from the parks. I mean, it's all Disney-related movies and all the Disney movies that are coming out and all that stuff. But they did focus a lot on Star Wars. They did focus a lot on Disney Plus. Disney Plus kicked it off on Friday with all the stuff that's coming out, which hits your streaming service November 12th this year. All the stuff that's going to be live right away, which is a lot of Disney movies, but original series. I mean, they got a Lady and a Tramp live action movie that's going to be on there.
Finally.
Yeah, Corey's been waiting for that.
All the old Disney Channel original movies?
That's right.
Like 100 of them?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Marvel movies, all the Star Wars stuff. The big announcement, which I think made everybody breathe a little easier, was that Bob Iger mentioned that it is permanent.
Yeah.
There's no like taking stuff away and putting in the vault for a little while.
They actually said things from the vault are coming on to the streaming service.
That's right.
Are they going to put the hours and hours and hours of Robin Williams?
Not that.
Okay.
Well, man, who knows? I doubt it.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. But no, they could never do that. That's been locked in the vault.
But yeah, that was good news. So Star Wars. So the Disney Plus, of course, we knew Mandalorian is dropping November 12th. Now they did mention, I don't think it was fully confirmed, but at least I heard in an interview with Favreau that he said he thinks it's going to be rolled out weekly.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. He was like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be weekly. I don't know. Maybe not.
I just work here.
Maybe bi-weekly?
I don't know. I just make the shows, man.
Now we're getting,
Ask KK
and I
about
can't
that.
remember, is it 8 or 10?
I think 8.
8 is what
Yeah,
I
I think it
heard.
was 8.
Yes. I don't know. Do you want it right away or do you want it weekly?
Weekly helps pass the time to December.
Oh,
That's fine.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember we're also getting Fallen Order that week too.
But still, it's like
Oh
every
my
second, it's just past the time.
Man.
I think people are expecting immediate, like Netflix, probably, I would say.
I would think so too.
We've been kind of spoiled to
Yeah,
that. Like
exactly.
with Stranger Things and other shows where it's just like, give
Watch
it to me
it
all.
now.
And let's just binge it. But
Yeah.
it does make it hard because it's like, I don't know, have you guys have seen, I mean, I end up binging it that weekend, but then you go and you talk to people and you're like, where are you at? Okay, I got to not talk about this.
Yeah.
It is kind of nice to do it weekly because with like shows like Game of Thrones, the conversation then gets
Yeah.
spread
Yes.
out.
We haven't had
There's
this
pros and
before.
cons.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons to that. I think you're onto something there.
Like I'm just excited. Yeah, I'm just excited the fact that we'll talk about it whenever day it comes out and be like, oh, I can't wait till next week to see
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
traditional show. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
So you want it
should've done-
weekly?
I mean,
Casey
of
wants-
course I want it all at once,
Wow.
but I love the anticipation of weekly. Just like it's because we've been wanting a Star Wars TV show for a while, so this is like a traditional TV show.
Yeah. What do you want?
I mean,
Cody?
of course, I would want it all at once, and I want to watch it all that night. I don't know if that's even
A lot
possible.
of late nights.
I would
but
probably.
I would
eight
try it.
TVs playing all at the same time.
I think it will be interesting.
And
for-
November 12th is a Tuesday,
Wow, great. Nice.
Well,
so
Swimming day.
So is it
a lot of sick
is
days
I
It,
in
think
is
we
a
it
might
day.
take off Thursday.
Monday at midnight?
I'm
or
sick.
I bet you it's Monday at midnight.
Pacific time?
I would,
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
I would guess it would be midnight.
Let me just go ahead and put in my vacation.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, because I remember. I feel
Thanksgiving
like when the DC app launched, it was midnight. Because I immediately started watching Titans at in the middle of the night. So yeah, I
Servers
think
crashed.
it's probably. So that I'd stay up all night. I guess 8 hours. I don't know. You want it all at once, or what do you want?
I don't. Just give it. I want it now.
Just directly into your veins.
I want. I think I would. I think I would be
Clark
selfish. And just say, I want it all now.
Yeah, I agree.
But if it comes out weekly,
You could do like an after show, Gives
but
you more time.
there's not 8 weeks
Sure.
leading up to episode 9. So I
Oh,
guess it'll
wait. Oh yeah. Well, so
be
overlap.
like 4 weeks.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
all right. Oh man, it's gonna be tough.
Oh, wait. So it'll go past 9? That's
Yeah.
weird.
if it's weekly, it will.
Ooh, do you think they'll do that?
That week after 9, the
That's a
numbers
good
are
one.
just going to drop off. 'Cause we're all going to be like stuck in the
Yeah.
theater just watching it on repeat.
Yeah, because DC, I will say, just compare DC did weekly with their series.
Right.
So,
Well, they don't let phones, so I have to watch it Mandalorian on my phone while watching the movie.
Well, good thing it doesn't tie in, right? Maybe not. Probably not.
We don't.
It
We
doesn't.
don't
It
think
won't.
so.
It won't.
So anyway, we got a new trailer. Now,
Yeah.
we saw what we saw at Celebration, which I feel like was. I mean, it was kind of a teaser. I mean, I felt like,
It was a teaser and a scene, a couple
we-
scenes.
and then
saw,
we
like,
saw the opening scene.
3 things, right?
Yes.
it was like behind the scenes.
Behind the
thing.
scenes,
Yeah.
a teaser.
and then 2 full scenes. Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, mostly we don't know, but yeah, it seems like full scenes.
So, what we saw in this was new. Most of it was new. I felt like, but it wasn't all that in depth about the story. Really.
Not at all.
Well,
I
there
mean,
was no dialogue.
no.
Hardly.
Yes.
Well, that's what Cody and I were talking earlier. It's like if you didn't go to Celebration and this is all you saw, you still know nothing about the characters or the story
Agreed.
or anything. You know nothing.
You haven't heard Carl Weathers talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Man.
scene was cool. So
Yeah.
I guess for people listening, like if you didn't see it, it's online. You can watch it. It's leaked. But we saw a scene of the Mandalorian and Carl Weathers' character Grief talking about some bounties, and he was basically giving him a job, and it kind of leads them
You
into
don't want this job.
into a
Something like that.
conversation. Yeah.
One of those things.
But I do, though.
But it was really cool
I
because
do.
you got to see how the characters play off of each other. You got to hear
Yeah.
the Mandalorian, where in the trailer you didn't hear him.
That's right.
He
That's
just
right.
kind of looks at you.
Yeah, it was strange. It was strange to see because I felt like I saw new stuff, but I didn't see
Well, you didn't see
anything more that really.
Yeah.
Even I'm already excited for it, so it didn't.
Yeah.
Really,
It looks amazing.
It didn't
looks
boost
really
my
good.
excitement
Right.
anymore, really.
Yeah.
You didn't see any of the girl either, right?
no, just one shot of her.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
one
yeah.
shot of her in there.
I
Yeah.
actually need to watch the game because, like, when I was watching that, and then as soon as I was like posting about it, all the Ewan McGregor stuff happened. I was
Yeah.
like, I just forgot about what I just saw.
I got like a million. I was like in the middle of cooking something and just ding, 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 ding. I'm like, what happened?
Do you think he'll Pedro Pascal, right? Do you think he'll take his mask off? I mean, I'm assuming he has to, right?
Maybe not until like the last episode or something crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why it would. The weird thing with those kind of like reveals is like we all know who Pedro Pascal is. We've seen him. We know what he looks like. It's not. It's like when he takes it off, you're not going to be like, oh, that's so. Like if you saw Boba Fett, you're like, oh, that's
Right.
Unless he's disfigured somehow. Unless he's got like a big scar down his
Scars,
face.
yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
big old mole on
Mole.
Gross.
I'm gonna stare at that the whole time.
the second time that's been referenced
Mole?
today.
Yeah, that's right.
The mole, really?
Yes.
We're in a separate group chat. Yeah, where someone mistakenly called Darth Maul.
Darth Maul's
Darth Maul.
lightsaber.
Classic typo.
Yeah.
Poster was
happens to
pretty
them all the
neat. I would have been stoked to get one of those at the panel. I'm
Yeah.
assuming they handed those out, but that's really cool because we got one from Celebration also, but it was kind of him standing in the doorway.
It's like
there.
a screenshot from the
Yeah.
episode almost.
It was silhouetted. He was
Yeah.
kind of standing in the doorway. This one was a full-fledged poster. But yeah, excited again. November 12th, Mandalorian drops. Don't know again if it's one episode or 8 episodes. Don't know. But that's 8. I mean, it's an 8-hour movie, man.
fantastic.
We're getting a Star Wars TV show.
I know.
Yeah.
We're getting one of those.
It's crazy.
It's been a long time.
So, and then of course they brought out Alan Tunick and Diego Luna to again mention the Cassian Andor series, which is still untitled.
Again, just remind everybody.
Yeah, just to remind everybody that it is coming.
I got a show.
It's not shooting until next year. I'm starting next year, I'm assuming. So I guess we'll get that series again. All this, that, and the Obi-Wan thing. There's a reason why I feel like they did Celebration next year. They're going to have.
So they're definitely not shooting the Cassian until next year.
That's what it said.
So apparently,
Well, yeah.
Mandalorian season 2 starts shooting this October.
I know.
Oh wow.
So we're going to get a second season of that before.
I think. Well, see, if you
Cassian
think
show.
about it, though, I think Mandalorian is ready to go right now. They're just waiting for the launch of the streaming service. They started shooting Mandalorian at the end of last year, so I think if Cassian starts February, March, I think I think it'll be ready by September. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like they'll start rolling
early
it
fall.
out early fall. So we'll probably get them both at the same time. I think season 2.
oh my gosh.
And Cassian.
Overload.
Yeah, and then I don't think we're going to get. I don't think we're going to get Obi-Wan until 2021. I feel like
Be like the Riddler, in Batman Forever, just sitting in his chair.
unless they debut all 3 of those next year at Celebration.
I mean, if I were them, I would save Obi-Wan to play by itself. Like, I mean, I don't know when you show its trailer and market it, but I wouldn't, have it launched the same day as a Cassian show. I would give it its own.
I agree. No,
Do you think?
space.
Do you think things will come out like Netflix, where it's like, where did this movie come from? It's awesome. Like there were no previews for it, no nothing. Do you think that things like that will slip by and they'll put things?
Not for Star Wars.
I don't think so.
Maybe other
Well,
things on Disney Plus.
I mean, not for us, but
Yeah.
some people
Yeah.
might be like, "Oh, Obi-Wan." Oh.
Well, like I guess if it's that big, how could they hide it? But
I think
that
Disney's
would be
all
really
about,
cool, man. If they did,
I
do
think
stuff
Disney
like
does
that.
is all about marketing.
Like a gonk, just like a gonk, random gonks show. Like I would love to, like
Curse of
gunk.
Well, they are doing. You may not know. They are doing a couple of animated things on there. Like I think BB.
No.
Well, no, that might be on
No.
the 2 kids.
Yeah.
Or live
That's
action.
yeah, they're doing some
Live action
animated stuff.
forever.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did stagger like they did the Marvel shows. None of them really overlapped, right? They were,
No.
if not right up against each other, they all were pretty much staggered.
Yeah.
out. So,
Agreed. Yeah.
It'd be
It's
weird if we got both at the same time.
there's no. What I'm surprised about with Cassian, especially because Obi-Wan's a new announcement, but Cassian, there's still no announcement on who's the showrunner, like who's directing.
They didn't really
who's
announce
writing.
anything new
That's
about the
true,
show.
yeah.
No, nothing. The
We
2
are.
cast members.
We
That's
are.
it.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing
Me and Alan Tunick, we're just doing it, man.
I've
We're
heard
just
that
got-
the cinematographer from Rogue One might actually do the
Come
show.
back? Oh,
I
wow.
feel like I read that. I don't know
cool.
if it's official or not, but that would be great because he established a really unique shooting style for Star Wars that hadn't been done.
Yeah, I
before.
mean, why wouldn't you maybe bring back Gareth Edwards for the
Oh my
pilot?
gosh, yeah.
You
What's
know,
he doing?
at least.
or the guy they hired to come in and replace Rogue One.
Yeah, exactly.
Tony Gilroy.
Yeah, maybe.
I just hope Borgullet comes back.
I almost forgot about Porky.
Every day, more
I
streaming
mean, the
series.
time period that it's in,
Not so.
supposedly on this timeline, this time period, it actually allows for a lot of those other characters to come in.
I used to be somebody.
Well, it's a good question about the timeline. I actually had that pulled
Well,
up
it's like
for later.
the crew of Cassian and Bet were really mad when they heard about Obi-Wan's show being made and being shot at the same time. It's like, what is happening? I held out for it too.
It's
Who's they hired?
it's set the
Who's even
Cassian
directing
Andor
our show?
series. we got the timeline revealed.
Yeah.
The
Praise
Cassian
it around.
Andor
That's a surprise,
series
too.
is 3 years before A New Hope.
And it's like right in the middle of the Rebels era there.
It's right in the
which
middle.
is cool. I love the possibilities of that. I don't know
Yes.
if they will fully realize that, and make that make happen. Like a lot of cool things that could happen.
So
Ahsoka possibly, or Saw Gerrera possibly.
could you go back and see
Mon
like
Mothma.
I think
them and
Mothma
old
for sure. I think
Bail
Bail
Organa.
Organa for sure.
I mean, in that time period, I mean, again, there's so much you can do. What you can allow with Cassian. He is very much like a side kind of character in the grand, somewhat. At this time in his life, he might be just a side guy, not like a leading man. I don't know. He's
a fulcrum, right?
He is fulcrums, but again, it's like very espionage. I was thinking, like, what if they brought in Leia at this time, or what if they did this? You know,
then you have to start explaining where they were, and if you start introducing these new characters, you have to be like, okay, well, where were they during this battle? Where were they
again,
here?
Like for Cassian, I think it's easier just because he is like a spy. He is on the sidelines kind of thing. But
he's that stormtrooper right there.
Yeah.
We got it. It's done. Backstory.
Yeah, that's again. There's not a title for it. There's no crew announcements yet or anything like that. I was surprised by that because we got the announcement of that back in before Celebration, right? Didn't we? No, there was a casting series like a while ago.
It came out of nowhere, and we were all just kind of like, Cassian.
Yeah,
interesting.
It did come out of nowhere.
Weird choice.
Immediately people started complaining that we would rather have an Obi-Wan. Like, that's what everybody.
Yeah.
Every show they've.
But wait,
then they just fast track the Obi-Wan show.
Like, get that out.
I mean, so is the Obi-Wan show
out.
basically fair to say taking place in that third Star Wars story movie, probably? Because we were supposed to get a third one, right?
Yes. The rumor was that they killed the movie based on Solo's performance and just said, well, I don't know if I would venture to guess, again, just completely my speculation, but I don't know if they ever fully had Ewan McGregor signed. Like, I think they were in discussions then at that point when Solo was coming out, like, because he went to the premiere. He showed up to the premiere. He kept showing up at these premieres, and they're like,
no one invited him.
Well, they had.
You remember all those interviews?
Stephen
with
Daldry supposedly, I think, worked on the script for the movie version. So I think the movie version had a script, maybe before he was signed.
Agreed. No, I think so.
But I also read in one of the reports, I don't know if it was Deadline or Hollywood Reporter or what, that somebody was reporting that Ewan McGregor is going to direct an episode or two.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
And so I wonder how much that plays into his negotiation for signing, and if he was ever in talks to do that for the movie. Obviously, that's a huge undertaking. I don't know if he could handle it. I don't know that he's directed. I don't know.
I don't think he has.
I don't know, actually.
I don't think he has, but I could be wrong on that. But you're right. I think I think that really enticed him to do that. Also, the fact that I have a feeling they probably threw a bunch of money at him and said, "Look, this is going to be a huge."
This is gonna
fans
be
want this.
This is gonna be huge.
Huge.
You know. So I truly think the rumor of some of the reports is that he literally just signed like a month ago, and the announcement was fast tracked. Because if you think about it, like all they threw up on the screen was a picture of him from episode 3. Like, I don't think this was actually fully planned to have him show, because literally he shows up and he comes out and says, you know, Kathleen, tell everybody, ask me the question. He said, are you playing Obi-Wan? And he said, yes.
The island.
That was pretty much it.
Are you going to the mall?
There was no logo. What'd you say?
Are you going to the mall later?
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. I'm not going to the mall.
Did anybody else think they got awkwardly close? Like,
they got really
said,
close.
ask me a question, and I'm like, are they about to kiss right now? Like, what's going on?
Will you marry me?
Yeah.
Well, he made it sound like he's been dodging the question because he couldn't say yes, but it's been kind of in the works for 4 years now.
Again, I think the movie, it was in works.
Yeah,
I think they
but
were
he just
negotiating the
couldn't say
movie,
yes.
but then I don't know. It just kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
I mean, Solo was only last year. Last May.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like it was. It's only been a little over a year since that fell apart, and maybe they decided to renegotiate and then extend that movie into the series. But that's just the first part of it. I mean, hopefully, we talked about it on our show back when we were speculating back in February when the reports came out that Obi-Wan series was imminent. That you can do this for like 3, 4, 5 seasons.
Oh my gosh,
him,
absolutely.
I mean, he's in exile for 19 years. It's like
and
you got all kinds
That's
of
19 years of that's 19 seasons.
It's not enough to contain it in one movie.
No.
There's so much there.
It might be a blessing that they turn it into a series
Yeah, I think
because
so.
we get more.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
back in
like
the
you
day,
said, sure, you could have done that with Solo too.
yeah.
Well,
You
and
could have made adventures with him.
Yeah,
They still can. They still can. They
him
still
and
can.
Jabba and Maul just throwing bounty hunters at him, like just different awesome bounty hunters.
Totally.
Like,
Because again, they've already created such a rich time period with all of that, the
Yeah.
underworld and everything, and then especially
rich.
he's on Tatooine, and there's so much you can do with it. There's different gangs, there's different all the crimes and the kids now, everything you can do so much.
yeah,
Come
on.
I know.
And I think he
Do it,
I think he
everybody.
leaves Tatooine
I'm just gonna
in
do
that
it.
time.
Yeah.
Totally
I don't think he
leaves.
stays
Corey's
there
gone.
the whole time.
Totally leaves. He has to.
Yeah, because
He
if
has
something
to.
happened to Luke, he could sense it and fly back.
Well, what was the other rumor that there's a droid companion that we know of that's going to be?
oh
right?
yeah,
Is that a rumor?
Right.
Or was that was just a rumor,
mechanical, a familiar mechanical
Co-star
something
or something like that.
Yeah, and that
And what?
is in
the Obi-Wan series.
Phantom
Oh, in the Obi-Wan
Tracks-
series?
That
Phantom
was a
Tracks
rumor
reported that
before, like a week before.
But it can't be R2 though.
No,
Gonk?
Gone.
On it.
Could be Gonk.
On it.
The Jawas caught him.
Yeah. They got him. They did. He was out there.
Yeah, it was.
Where did he come from? Nobody knows.
That would be. I mean,
Actually, you guys may be onto something. Like, you may need to search that Jawa transport.
The Sandcrawler?
Sandcrawler. Look on there, and it could be one of those guys on
It
there.
could be. There was a kind of a protocol droid sitting there whenever.
What was that? Was it R5 or the one of the Astro?
Red?
Red.
Red, R4.
What if that was his
R4.
his guy? And will it explain why Obi-Wan didn't recognize R2-D2 and C-3PO?
Oh, he was being cool.
Which is
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Maybe he hit his
Don't
head
see-
the week before.
Don't seem to ever owning a
I don't know.
droid before.
But we mentioned.
Are you serious?
I actually went back and listened to our episode back in February when we talked about the Obi-Wan and our speculation of stuff, and we did mention a lot of that kind of stuff where he leaves. We think he leaves. What's the
Hold on, being hindered something here.
sources tell us the story we spread across 8 episodes with McGregor directing a number of shows. Further to that, he will be performing alongside a familiar mechanical co-star. And when we heard who it was, our hearts skipped a beat.
Is it from the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, no, it could be
But it doesn't
something
say
else.
who it is. As
Could
ever,
it be,
it's
could it be Will Smith from My Robot?
Johnny
confirmed, it's
5.
purely a rumor.
Johnny 5, yes.
So they don't mention who it is.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I'll be
no,
on.
but it's
You
like
did-
who would make? I mean, who would make
Thank
that
you.
big of a
Splash.
heart skipping?
Palpitation.
Familiar
Palpatine? What?
alongside familiar
Palpitation team?
mechanical co-star. I mean, could it be?
I mean,
Can't be K2, right?
well, a
don't
co-star of his previous
way.
his previous movies, right? Is that
Well, it just
that's
says
how
alongside a familiar mechanical co-star. A familiar mechanical co-star.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't make sense that it would be R2 or 3PO. So, like,
Right,
K2,
obviously. How?
this time period, that's really all there is.
I don't know if
K2?
it's-
Unless mechanical doesn't
Chopper?
mean droid,
Yeah, it's
it
true.
just means
Ooh.
like,
Chopper would be cool,
mechanical.
Oh, Chopper.
but no one
No,
else would know
no.
that.
Chopper.
Chopper.
No.
Get to the chopper. Yeah.
Chopper, as voiced by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's tough. That's
I'm so distracted.
that's tough.
Can't get off.
But like I said, we mentioned in our show back in February about Obi-Wan. But yes, him leaving. But I think we mentioned in there too about bringing back Joel Egerton as Owen. I mean,
Come
got
on.
a big star now.
Willing to do it.
Oh, yeah. He's. Cannot believe he's doing it.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
I just think you have to fill it with familiar characters.
Gatsby 2 is
And-
out.
Well, that would you got to fill out. Think of it, any TV show that's not just Obi-Wan by himself sitting in a hut talking to Qui-Gon.
You could do
You
it.
got to have those other storylines, those other characters. If you've got the conflict of he wants to train Luke, he goes and asks about training Luke, and Uncle Owen's like, "No, dude, like, not going to do that."
Back off.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we also mentioned which I thought was very good, which I still think they will do, is that there's nothing that has told us anywhere right now that the ultimate fight with him and Maul in Rebels was the next time they've seen each other.
True. Oh, yeah.
Like,
They've
there's
seen
nothing
it.
that says that.
I just
as
feel like,
long as it's not on Tatooine.
exactly.
Right.
We're in the clear.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think that's the only thing.
But he could have left
because we
Tatooine
talked about
several
how-
times.
Well, that's
Totally.
the thing, because we talked about how would Maul even know he's alive? Like, how would Maul even know to go look for?
Besides just
The vision?
pure
The vision he
rage.
had?
Yeah,
just
exactly.
just wanting to get revenge. And
I think he
closure,
finds
you know?
out he's alive. I think
Yeah.
Maul finds out. I think Maul could be the
Main
the antagonist in
antagonist.
this movie. in
That'd
this
be
series.
great.
Real quick, that vision he had with Ezra, that was only the location that he figured out where
I
he
can't
was,
remember,
right?
actually. I was trying to
Or was
think- I
it?
was
Did he
just trying
figure
to
out he
think
was
of that.
alive?
He kept saying he's alive.
Yes, I think he
He's
saw him.
alive.
And
So
he
maybe
saw,
he thought he had killed him at one point.
I don't
If
know.
that's the case
I'll
of the
have to
vision,
watch it again
because I don't remember the
that-
vision.
Maybe
yeah.
that could be the time. Maybe either he realized he was alive.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
There or where he was. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that episode.
Not to
Yeah.
throw a
Tell us
wrench
in the
in the
comments.
mall plans, but it does make it difficult if you do multiple seasons and you have him as a villain in season 1, and then he kind of has to disappear.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of a bummer for your show
Rancor.
viewers to be like, "Oh, where'd that sweet villain Darth Maul go?" And
Oh, you mean like
watch,
episode 1? How I
They don't watch Rebels. They don't
Yeah.
know that he was in Rebels. They're just like,
So
"Where's
cool.
Maul?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard things to explain because not everyone watches all the content like we do.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. But anyway, that's the Obi-Wan. I mean, we'll keep speculating about it as it comes, but that also got dropped as far as the timeline goes, and they are dropping that 12 years before Episode 4. So
7 years after.
so
3.
a year, if you want to look at the timeline, a year after Solo, the prologue of Solo, that was.
God, he could even go visit Yoda.
But what'd you say? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
7 years after
7
the-
years after Episode 3.
Or season
Correct.
six.
That'd be cool.
That'd be so cool.
So Luke, if he's in it, would be 7, which is
7
a good
years
age
old.
for a young actor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable we're going to see.
I can do it. I can do it. I can play something.
It's gonna be Thanos, and he's gonna be like, "I am inevitable."
Yeah.
I did.
So interesting time period that you're.
Well, so there's
laying that
there's
in.
comics that have Obi-Wan, as a hermit on Tatooine,
Doing his stuff.
and he goes and like saves
doing his
Luke from like a bunch of like a gang, and then he's like yelling at Uncle Owen. They have like a sort of a
Yeah.
fight. I mean, that stuff. I
Oh,
gotta think
man.
they could like pretty much
Gold.
adapt some of that.
Yes, they could. Yeah.
Yes.
So the last Disney Plus announcement,
Just zoning out, like thinking
which
like,
kind of bummed me out a little bit, but Clone Wars is not coming back until February
Yeah.
of 2020. So got a
Well,
couple
so
months after
then-
launch to wait. But
Well, if Mandalorian's a weekly thing, then you'll have
Oh,
about a month
that's
from
true.
the end of that season until the start of season 7, which they are calling it season 7.
oh, they are.
That's what. Well, at least that's what all the news reports were claiming.
Ah.
I don't know. Did the panels?
at least that's what I told him in my tweet. When I
yeah.
tweeted.
At least as reported.
I told him to make sure they
as
called it.
reported by me in my tweet. That's all the reports were calling it season 7, but I didn't see any interviews to corroborate that. But it did. I also read some quotes, almost again, basically saying that this is the final
Yes.
season.
I think Dave Filoni was interviewed, and he said that.
This is concluding.
This is it.
Literally
this is
said that.
concluding. the
I think
stories.
he basically somebody asked him if they would make more
He tipped his hat.
Clone Wars stories, and he said there might be more stories with these characters,
Sure, yeah.
but not in the Clone Wars. Is kind of how he said it. But are we going to get the old Clone Wars and Rebels episodes?
They will be on
Day
streaming.
one?
I think so. Yes, I think so.
Oh, that's good.
I think they are.
You can watch all of Clone Wars and get geared up for
done. That'd be so great. Like everything Star Wars is going to be on one channel, so you can just watch it all.
Well, Rebels has never been on a streaming service. I wanted to watch an episode the other day, and I was like, oh,
No, well,
I
can't.
can't watch it.
Good job.
No. I can't. It does say season 7 all over this,
But
I
again,
guess
it's
it's the
all
last season.
All the
Yeah.
news saying it. Anywho, I mean, it would be. I think, and people have been pretty much calling the Lost Missions at season 6. So.
That's right. Yeah, season 6. So it's supposed to lead up. I did read it's literally supposed to lead up right to episode 3. So it's truly that gap between 2 and 3. So Clone Wars February 2020, not a specific date, but February 2020 is when all the last 12 episodes will be released. Excited about that. I love that.
Say how many? 12?
12.
Okay.
12 episodes.
20 for a second.
They really,
Which
they
I-
put an image out of Ahsoka and Maul.
Maul, yep.
Yeah, looked really cool.
Which again, I'm still in the belief that these are going to be longer episodes than the 20 something minutes that we're used to,
That'd be awesome.
because there's no commercials. You don't have to worry about it. I think these are 40 to 50 minute episodes.
Yes.
I think they're longer.
Oh my
Just
God.
my speculation.
I'd be about that.
My source told me that.
Yeah, it's me. I tweeted.
Yeah.
it.
Confirm my brain.
Okay, real quick, I do want to mention another reveal at D23 was so Galaxy's Edge actually opens in Orlando in 2 days. So August 29th. Galaxy's Edge in Orlando opens. Again, the main ride, the Rise of the Resistance, isn't opening there, but the Falcon Smuggler's Run is, as well as the cantinas and stuff like that. Oga's Cantina and the Droid Depot and the was it Savvy's workshop where you can build a lightsaber. All that's going to be open here in a couple days. Now, there was always this report that they are building a Star Wars hotel, like a resort, but it's not like a resort that's like a Caribbean beach or a Port Orleans or something like that, where you could pick your nights and go there. This is a Star Wars experience that you're doing. So they are fully immersing you in Star Wars. So they revealed the what it's called. It's called Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser, and the canon ship that they have built is called a Halcyon. So
Sure, call it Flossed in Paradise.
yeah,
Flossed in Paradise.
yeah, totally.
Just me.
So I mean, I actually thought of that when I saw the picture of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, it's like a big cruise ship in space. But long story short, basically it's a 3-day 2-night experience that you pay for, all inclusive. So you show up at the launch pad or whatever you call it. You walk in, and literally it's the little panel I saw about it. You literally, the doors open, you walk into a pod, and the pod takes you to the ship in space.
Cool.
Takes you to space, to real space.
Yes. I mean, everything
8 hour.
from that point when you walk into the space, you do not see anything about Earth.
That's scary. Like, is it enclosed? Because it's like,
Yeah,
where am I?
screens. It's all
Better
screens.
pack your Dippin' Dots.
I am scared.
It's all screens and stuff.
Oh, screens. Jesus.
But you land on the ship. You get shown your room. You start interacting with the experience.
Start working
Yeah.
on the ship. You got to swab the
I'm
dice.
telling you, the way they described
alien
it,
creature to hunt everybody down.
the way they described it is, you can actually explore the ship. There's actually, they say there's like secret compartments and stuff like that. There's like,
Ew.
again, think about the cast that's involved in this. I mean, they're fully immersed. You get to go on the bridge and look at the maps and all that stuff. I mean,
Can you wear jackets with zippers?
probably
No.
not. Probably
Cody.
not. Yeah.
Come on.
Gotta canonize
We
that.
got Kira's wardrobe over here. What's going on?
But what they said is basically you're flying, you're cruising through the space or whatever, and at some point you take a shuttle down to Batuu, and you get to experience Galaxy's Edge a different way than you would normally coming through the park. So again, you don't
from a
see
helicopter.
any part of the else. You don't get to go anywhere else it's all part of the experience. Anyway,
Shuttle to
I'm crazy.
Batuu, is
Yeah,
it-
it's crazy
is it just
how
like
they
a
thought
bus?
about this and all this stuff. It's
I want a Canto Blight.
Probably not allowed.
experience. How about that
Yeah.
experience?
yeah.
Give me some of that right there.
Could be the
Like
next thing.
Canto Blight stuff.
You can't. So they're not gonna let you go to the other parks of Disney.
Well, again, there's there's an experience that's involved.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's involved in Batuu yet. But,
Sure.
but
Interesting.
Bunch of screens my kids can break. Great, thanks.
yeah, it's
Broke the screen. I broke our view.
but it's fully. I don't know. It's crazy to think how they're setting that up because they've never done anything. I mean, I don't know anything else like this.
Right.
Did they say how much it costs?
Yes, it ends up being about
Feed for
3,000 so about 1,000 a day is what you're. But that's again fully inclusive. Your food, your
Yeah.
room, your everything that's part of
Twi'leks.
the experience. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You're a Rhodian guy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how
What
they're.
if they have Borgullet?
I don't know how they're gonna. I just don't know how they're gonna manage all the people.
Where's the
there.
Bulgullet?
How many people can do it at a time?
I
that stuff. I
That's
don't know.
true. And then, I mean, it's pretty steep, but you are getting a lot. But what would really make it great is if they threw in Savi's workshop experience.
Yeah,
as well.
see, I think you have to. I think you have to.
$200 there. Come on.
I think
Yeah.
again, there's a story there. I mean, there's stories going all over the place in Batu right now, even as you go as a regular guest. But
or maybe discounts to the shops or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to
don't know
mix.
how
I
resorts
just don't know
work.
how when you show up a Batu, if it's a different area that's only exclusive, because I don't know how they're going to mix with regular guests there.
wear-
I don't
wear
know
a
how they're going
band
to do
or
that.
Something. I don't know.
I don't know. It's fairly new. They haven't even announced a date yet. I don't even know where they're building this thing at yet. So I don't know if it's in both.
Golly, yeah.
I don't know if it's in Disneyland and Disney World. I don't know if it's just Disney World. I don't know any of that.
What if they built it right above Batu?
Actual floating.
It's
Right.
like in the air. I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be sweet.
I mean, it's definitely got to be on the backside of Batu.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I don't know. I'm very interested, obviously, in it. It's. I don't know. I just don't know how often people are going to be wanting to do that. That's the only thing.
I
mean, if they
Yeah.
had like death
Every year.
sticks and stuff, that might make it more interesting.
Jeez, this guy wants a
Yeah.
serious,
I
gotta wait till-
serious experience.
Yeah.
I gotta wait till my kid
Wow.
grows up. It's like, get into it.
Enjoy this.
There's no PJ Masks. It's Star Wars.
Yeah,
Daddy, I
right.
don't like Star Wars. You what?
Like I think my youngest
going alone
would be
next
all
year.
about it. I don't know about Sam. I think my
Right.
youngest would be all about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's that. Other than that, okay, let's just get into obviously the big stuff, the Rise of Skywalker. First off, thoughts on the poster that got revealed this weekend.
Pretty surprising, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, didn't expect the poster also
Thought it was
one to look
fake.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was
pretty
a
much
fan
everybody
poster.
thought it was
Yeah.
fake.
I'll say it. Underwhelming. I mean, it's cool looking in theory, but Palpatine looks like a cartoon. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like all the other posters are really good. Like the Last Jedi one that we got and they still have is it's amazing. Like the art on it is really good, and the art on this is just like really digitally
Blah.
done.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't know.
Okay.
Well, Cody's done for the show.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I can kind of. I mean, why wouldn't they have used like a live action looking? Okay. I mean, I get it.
Well, it is
The initial shock of it was, was great, but I haven't really looked at it in that sense.
The idea
Is it
of
like-
Palpatine on
whether
it
it's good or
is
not.
cool, and the Rey Kylo fighting part looks cool.
The classic face
I
over.
just think the art style is a
Yeah,
little
okay.
bizarro.
Bizarro. Interesting. No, I can see that. I was. I mean, I love it. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, the first time I heard the Emperor laugh at Celebration, I just went to rubber. I mean, so I don't know what's going to happen. They could just have him standing there breakdancing, and I'd be happy. I don't care. So great.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it is a.
It's like a video
I
game.
feel like it's a digital version of him. I don't know if it's actually.
Well, people
Ian McDermott.
People were trying to make the connection, which I guess it's right. I don't know that actually that's a hot toy version of that's.
If that's true, it's really funny.
It is funny,
Oh,
and if you
wow.
look at it, someone did a side by side thing, and it's pretty close. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they used it because apparently it's not unprecedented for posters to use.
Yeah, and usually
these
hot
kind of
toys
things.
are pretty accurate.
Yeah,
as far
I
as
was reading, they did, apparently they did the same thing for an Avengers poster. They
Yeah.
used the hot toy of Vision to they
Oh.
needed a quick pose of him that they didn't have, and so they got a toy to do it. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty close, and I wouldn't be surprised. It doesn't hurt my opinion of the poster if that is true. I mean, everything is very digital because unless it happens in the scene, like Kylo's wearing his helmet in this, but in the shot of this in the trailer, he's not wearing his helmet.
I don't think
so-
they're fighting on the same thing in that, actually.
Well, it's a different part of the
yeah, I think it's still the
world
water and all that
they
stuff.
are, but yeah. Well, somebody also made a cool connection that piece that they're on looks a lot like the the tractor beam.
Yeah.
tractor beam. Yeah.
Device, which is pretty cool. Yeah, pretty clever.
Which is Death Star 1.
Correct. Yeah.
So-
There's a bunch of blue glowy stuff, which
Blue
is the same
stuff.
stuff that when Palpatine gets thrown over the
essence.
into the reactor, all that blue glowy stuff just kind of. I always thought when I was little, it's just the reactor blowing up, but maybe it's just like that's Palpatine's like
this is pure
blueness.
dark side energy.
That's his transport,
I don't know. It's what he turns
To a
into.
different- yeah.
yeah.
maybe. So that got dropped on on. I think it was on Saturday, which was surprising again to see. But it's just Palpatine. Now we will get. I feel like we still will get a big collage of.
Oh yeah.
Towards the end,
all the cool stuff,
all this stuff. But okay, so people at D23 were able to see the special look video. That's about 2 minutes 11 seconds. The first part of it, first minute and a minute 11 or
pretty
so,
close to a minute. Yeah, they're split evenly.
all the previous footage from the 8 movies. Good to see that. Now they went in. Technically, they went in release order.
Oh,
they didn't go in
funny
chronological order.
Yeah, I did notice that. That's funny.
So they went 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and then they showed 7, and 7 and 8 were kind of mixed a little bit.
They went back and forth. Yeah,
They went back and
a few
forth.
shots.
So okay,
They may have
so
done that for a reason.
just overall
I already know.
thoughts of because we got the piece just today after we read, I'm sure, over the weekend all the what people saw because the end shot is what everybody's talking about. But just the feel of the whole thing. What do y'all think about this second look at the movie?
No, not as overwhelming as the first teaser, just because that was the first thing we saw and it was so surprising, but still very much exciting and thrilling. Not really a whole lot of shots though in this.
Not of the new stuff. No, there's probably a dozen, maybe, or half a dozen, maybe.
And it didn't even include the other handful of shots that were shown that weekend that was leaked of like Kylo looking at Vader's helmet and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of surprising. But overall, no, it was great. It just begs so many more questions now and so much more speculation that drives me nuts, but also gets me excited. So part of me like hates that I can't just figure it out and I just want to know what happens, and part of me just loves the speculation. That's it.
I mean, my mind is just blown. I feel like it's like first teaser. We're all there. We're at Celebration. We're all excited. We're ready. It's JJ, and then we hear Palpatine's like. It's a good trailer. It's really good. It looks great. And then you hear Palpatine's laugh, and we're all just losing our minds. You see this, and it's like, oh, okay, all the movies, great, yeah. Shots that we haven't seen. Oh, cool, very cool. And then you see Dark Rey as a freaking Dark Jedi, and you're just like, what is going on right now? Like, what is life?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Totally.
I don't even know. I don't even know what's real anymore.
We've seen so many like the deviant art of like a Dark Rey, So, and you see it. It's like, oh, there it is in real life for the first time. Now that's my gosh. I mean, I'm already just super jazzed at the fact that the Emperor is going to be in it somehow. I think Vader is going to be in it somehow. And you get to see new Sith that are. I mean, hope we'll see. I mean, possibly. I just love the Sith, and I love the bad guys. And for so long, we haven't really gotten the good bad guy. I don't know, kinda. You know what I mean? Like, Kylo's great, but like he's not a Sith. And I don't even want to say the S word because he was. I don't know what the heck that was.
Snoke.
Yeah, that guy.
I can't wait for them to talk about
say
Snoke and the Rise of Skywalker.
If you guys remember the episode when we it was coming back, I guess, from Celebration, I bet Cody that they would not mention Snoke once in this movie.
And I took that bet.
Yeah. Actually, it was before that. It was even before we saw the trailer, I think.
It was the night before.
Yeah, it was. They're just completely ignoring it.
Of course they'll mention Snoke.
Nope.
What's the matter with you?
They wouldn't even blink an eye at him.
They're gonna
Who?
Don't you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. But oh my gosh, my initial reaction, obviously, I mean, it felt like the first. It did feel like the first footage, the first trailer we got. I mean, it was all just, this is great. I'm already got the chills. I already love what they showed me, and then they just, I don't know. They take it and they just take it up, turn it up to 11 at the last like 30 seconds, and you're just like, I can't believe what I just saw, and then your mind just goes everywhere, and it's hard not to get too crazy because before the show we were kind of saying, what do you think it is? and then what do you think it really is? Because that's kind of an accurate feeling, emotion is when you first see it, you're like, oh man, that'd be so cool if like, obviously it's like, see the double-sided lightsaber, it's like is Maul somehow involved, and you want the Emperor there, you want Vader there, you want all this stuff, but then in reality it's probably just a vision or something, but you don't know, but excited nonetheless. Very excited.
I think I was going to run through the images real fast. So the new ones, you have that first group shot of them overlooking that
fan.
Oh,
yeah.
Past all the saga stuff.
Yeah, past all the saga stuff. You get the big. I guess that's a living planet, right? Where everybody's living there. Then you have a great shot of Leia, like. Again, that shot is apparently from Episode 7.
A few things I think were
right?
tweaked.
Yeah, I mean her hair, I think, and maybe her clothes. I guess
I think her clothes were, yeah. Someone did another side by side comparison of almost identical pose, framing everything from a Force Awakens shot. It's just her. They digitally just kind of manipulated it.
Yeah.
Is this the shot where she's basically watching Rey as she gets
I
on the
guess.
Falcon at the end of Force
Oh,
Awakens?
is that shot is from?
Well, no, but that's
found-
what the pose that someone's comparing it to. It's the same.
Like they put the jungle background
and changed
tweaked her a little bit.
Changed the wardrobe. Yeah.
Interesting.
It was that hug that we first saw in the first trailer. I think we all got together and saw that it was the exact same. It was like, but just they put like a ring on her or took a ring. They did a few
Changed the
subtle
hair.
things. Yeah.
But here's the thing too. That's the only thing we've seen. Like this, the only location we've seen so far. You've seen those 2 or 3 shots, but
her
they've
in the
all been
jungle?
at this jungle.
Because that's what we were saying. That
There's
Rey.
one other location where she's got the medal.
The
Yavin 4 medal.
yeah.
I mean, it looks like it's like darker, so it could be
in a room or something.
yeah, same place.
We were saying how funny would it be is that's the reason Rey's back in her original costume was because those shots just to make those latest shots work.
Part of it, I would say that's part of it.
Yeah, it's part of it. The text comes up, the story of a generation, and then you've got all these ships coming out of hyperspace. And it looks like Return of the Jedi, where you got A-wings and B-wings and Y-wings and X-wings.
I was hoping they put some U-wings in
You
there,
got
but they're not true fighter ships. But come on,
It's true.
Come on.
Yeah, they're transports, right?
Yeah, there's transport.
And you got looks like the Tantive.
Yeah, something.
Looks
I
like
don't think it's
a cruiser. It's
a
an Imperial
blockade
shuttle,
runner
or
kind
it's
of thing.
not Imperial shuttle. It's a Rebellion or Republic shuttle, I guess. But then you've got a massive fleet of Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
But they are Imperial
Yeah,
Star Destroyers.
right. Modified.
What
modified a
what's
little
going
bit.
on there?
Could it be a flashback to the beginning of I don't know?
No,
Battle
this
of
is.
Jakku
I
or
mean,
something?
this is real. This is present because they are modified a little bit. Someone I think made the point that on the bottom, when you see the bottom of all the ships, I didn't look into it to see how correct they were. I'm just taking it that they are. But there's like the ventral cannons on the underside or bigger, like they've been modified. And there's also if you brighten the image, you can tell that there's a red strip, kind of along the outer edge around the Star Destroyer, which is basically that same ship. Because we talked about this in the first teaser. There's a quick shot of an A-wing or something kind of like looks like going over, which I at the time thought was a Republic cruiser because it had the red marking. But no, it's
Star
this.
Destroyer?
It's the Star Destroyer.
It's got to be like
What
the Sith Star Destroyers, right?
quite
Or
possibly.
wherever
What if
the-
they're like? What if it's like Thrawn coming back? Like, what if he's been out and
that'd be fun. That's too much.
it may be.
That would be too many big guys.
They're all here.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I just think this is the reserve, the rest of the Imperial reserves that have been hiding out in wild space, unknown regions, kind of, for decades.
That is a massive fleet, though.
Because that's kind of what happened after Aftermath, right? Everybody went into hiding and they rebuilt themselves. So I think this is just where
Or the Emperor's.
they're coming back. They're finally coming into
the Emperor's special fleet.
Like this is truly the last battle.
The last thing that the Emperor
But I'm just
planned. or had
barely
in reserve.
counting, and there's at least 70 Star Destroyers in that picture.
That's pretty.
I mean,
What are those on the side? Cody?
Precedent in there, but
It's incredible. And just like, of
Yeah,
course,
they're in big trouble.
just like, they're just like normal. The rebellion doesn't have as many ships.
Yeah.
You know?
Come on.
I mean,
and yet they will destroy them all. Beep, beep.
yeah.
Just have Yoda do his force lightning through it all.
We've never seen this many.
They're out of
Star
range. We
Destroyers
can't shoot them.
No.
focused in one area.
No. And then you have a quick shot of
suggest you hit
Finn, which doesn't look like the Falcon. I don't think he's inside the Falcon, but he's inside a ship.
Finn and Jana.
Yes.
I assumed it was the Falcon, is it not? I
It doesn't.
I haven't looked
I don't
into it
think
too much.
so. It doesn't look like that. Doesn't look like the Falcon right there. I don't think. Does it? I mean,
The Falcon gets destroyed.
Yeah, I
That'd
don't
be
know.
crazy.
I don't know. It's hard for me to say definitively, but
Well,
I
it
don't
looks
know.
like the guy flying it. If you look kind of behind,
Yeah, I can't- he has a
Jaina's
helmet
hair,
on.
Yeah, he. It looks like
probably
the
not.
pilot seat would be in a.
he might be in the blockade runner there. The,
Yeah.
yeah,
Titanic.
that's true.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it could be in the blockade runner. Blockade runner. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the text comes to an end. So, and then we see a red-eyed 3PO.
Blah. 000. I thought first I
Yeah,
saw
I
it.
mean, is he like maybe just plugged into something, or is he?
000.
Well,
Black,
this
though.
is where I'm starting to get annoyed now because if you're on Reddit and if you read all this, all the things, this confirms a rumor that has been in the world of the internet world for months now.
What, the evil 3PO?
The reprogram. I mean, again, maybe I don't know. It
What,
seems like it's
The
confirming
Chewbacca.
the
Yeah.
reprogrammed 3PO to be like this
Search and
really
destroy.
like more of a I don't know what the word is, like the weaponized version of
An assassin droid.
it's a different
was it-
protocol basically.
Yeah. What was his original protocol? It was.
Service,
etiquette.
etiquette.
protocol.
Yeah.
Well, he said it. But anyways, yeah. This is like I think I read the same thing where they said it's like a search and destroy protocol.
Well, it could be the same protocol that 000 has, maybe.
Yeah,
that'd be
yeah,
kind of
that's
cool.
true.
But anyways, it seems like now it's confirming some of the rumors that the
Instant kill.
Instant kill.
activate instant.
That they
We're
go to
taking
this,
Spider-Man back.
this ice planet Kajimi to find this whatever part of 3PO, and so if you're into making Star Wars has talked about this in the link. So if you actually want to know what's happening here, possibly
That's cool.
You can go find their stuff. But that's where I'm like, gosh, I'm glad I've kind of like months ago since Celebration. I'm glad I stayed off of those news outlets because it was starting to get a little too scary for me and a little too real. And I'm glad I did because it's starting to come true now. It seems like
Maybe he's just sleepy.
maybe he just needs some Visine. I don't know.
C420. I saw
Got some
Maybe he's
contagious
like
conjunctivitis.
seeing into the future.
Force sensitive C3PO.
The next shot is of the planet I think that we saw in the first trailer, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it might be Kajimi, the icy planet, whatever.
Yeah.
Snow planet.
Looks like it's shot by a ventral cannon almost.
Like a lot of them, possibly.
Yeah,
That's the-
bombardment. It
Yeah.
looked like one constant stream though. when
Yeah.
It does.
Just could just be-
It seems like another super weapon, but people
Yeah.
are making the claim that it's that fleet
Yes.
combining their firepower to
That's-
one
yeah.
central
Yeah.
area, which
It looks like that cloudy, stormy sky.
Yeah.
The same shot of the one with the
Right.
70 Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
imagine
Lightning.
if they all were around a planet and shot
Yeah.
in
But
I thought-
multiple areas.
I mean, so their lasers aren't green.
I don't think they have to be, but no.
Well, that's why I think it's some
They're
kind of
different
cannon
ships.
because the ventral cannon didn't that shoot red beam
oh,
I don't know.
I can't
from
remember.
episode
Force
8?
Awakens.
Yeah, no, from,
from-
Last Jedi
Oh.
when they shot on Dakar.
Maybe.
Remember,
Yeah.
they fired on the base when the last ship was leaving. It was like a big
Oh, it
red
was.
beam that shot down
I
there.
think pretty much everything First Order on
Was
the
red.
ships have been red.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed. That's why I feel like that's some kind of cannon
Yeah.
because it's not like a Death Star or anything that's
Right.
destroying the planet. It's just the kind of hitting
I
the
know.
surface.
Right, because even their ties, right, are red. So yeah, I think right. Or are they still green?
I thought they
I
were
think
green.
those are green.
The ties are
green
still green?
lasers.
They are green because the very first teaser with the Falcon
Yeah, yeah.
flying had those
Yeah.
green
Gotcha.
glass. Yeah.
Idiot.
So the next shot is Rey in the forest. Cody actually pointed this out. I didn't realize the probe droid,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the training droid.
Red.
This is in the Falcon, right? So they had it.
I guess.
Well, this is different. This
it looks a little
isn't
different.
this is a red one.
I think she misses it.
She does
But
miss
no,
it.
it dodges. It
It
jumps
do-
up.
It goes
Ah,
up.
I didn't know
shoots
that.
up.
Yeah,
She missed it.
and then she's holding on to a stick. some kind of stick staff. The next shot, which
Why do you need a stick when you got a lightsaber?
saber comes back to her.
I
Yeah,
think they forgot to put the effects in there.
She's practicing. Oh, maybe. Oh no.
Early
Oh,
shot.
she's practicing for her double-bladed.
That's what I thought.
lightsaber?
But then, what I didn't think about was what's with the red. What's with the
she's
red?
got something on her. Wrapped up in her hand. I don't
She's
know.
got a
Little
boob-
bandana.
little
She's a-
boo-boo.
Little
She's a
boo-boo.
cowboy.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Tombstone.
And the next shot has Kylo walking from his TIE silencer.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I don't think
igniting
wait,
his saber.
Is
So
that the
much-
silencer? That I thought someone was making the comment.
Yeah.
that it's like it's just
It's
another
a different tie.
Yeah.
It's Kylo's
Anyways,
tie.
It's his tie.
Now is
It's a
this
cool tie?
This looks kind of like almost like the planet that we saw just getting destroyed, right?
Again, yeah. When you have the blue and
Not-
the lightning,
yeah.
so it's all seems like the same area. Yeah.
And they trying to destroy Kylo.
But he doesn't have his mask. He doesn't have his mask on.
Right.
Now remember, we in the first teaser,
Could have gone rogue, man.
he was They were on this kind of looked like a reddish planet
It had a
where
red-
he was
well,
attacking.
It almost
Somebody
seemed
looked
like,
like
there was a laser in the sky, kind of
Yes.
like
Actually, you're right,
is
it
being
did.
infected. So I watched that again to see if it was the same planet. It can't tell for sure. It doesn't look like it's snowy or anything like that, but it could be. It could be the same. Could all be the same thing. Because that's one of the things that we've been trying to discern is how many planets are there, and we're trying to get an idea of the order of events. So
I think
Yeah.
where Kylo is the same one that was getting shot and the same one that the ship that looks
Yeah.
like it's dropping off.
but do you think it's the same where he's mowing down those whatever people?
Yeah,
that one's too hard because it all looks
it's
red?
red, and you can't
It
tell.
looks-
It's
I think it might be
embers
It looks more
floating.
foresty.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one looks
but
a
I
lot more
just noticed this.
Mountain foresty.
I just paused that
The lightning?
shot of lightning. It actually came up. It doesn't come down. It went up.
War of the Worlds.
So I don't know if that matters or anything, but
Lighting from the ground. Is
Yes.
this where Palpatine is?
I don't know.
Or is this
been
even a real?
frozen.
Is this even a real place? Like, could it be? Could like in this vision where Rey's
Coming from the ground?
fighting in the desert?
Oh, it's a force fight, and they're not really there. Like he's not really where he is.
Oh, because I mean, it could. I mean, I don't know. It just hit me all of a sudden that
It just shoots
What
up.
if
It's not
it's-
like a constant.
Yeah.
it's
remember
just-
her fight in
So it
the
could be
desert.
the planet.
Like
I
a
mean,
staticky planet.
Could
just
be
like
the
light-
planet.
It's just the atmosphere.
What if,
is
like,
very
in her
electrical
vision, it
charge.
all
Could
turns
be.
cold.
Might not be
and
significant at all.
he lands at that's. We're having two separate conversations on a podcast. So that's probably mind numbing.
Yeah.
I was saying, remember it just that first scene of her, that first trailer in the desert when she's training. It just seemed off. I don't know why. Like it was, like she did it several times. Like after she failed
Right.
once, she
Right.
composed herself. Was like, okay, I'm gonna try this again. I don't know why I got that feeling. I just got that feeling from that. So what if this is from the same vein? And like when the silencer lands, and this is another part, and everything turns real cold in her
Oh, yeah.
this scenario, and he's
Sure.
because that explains why the lightning is coming up because it's not
real.
not real or some kind of training thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying maybe it's just an unstable planet.
Yeah, that too.
And
Sure.
staticky or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
It's space. It's Star Wars. Things are
Yeah,
things
things
are
are different.
Yes,
Lightning's up.
science doesn't necessarily work. Some of these planets that are, like I don't know. It's weird. I
We
don't
can
think
breathe on them all. So that's
the
good.
galaxies doesn't. I don't wanna
They
get
all
into
have
it.
oxygen.
Yeah,
They don't have a black hole in them.
And then, of course, the final, not the final shot, but the last shot is Kylo and Rey on what looks like to be the wreckage of the Death Star coming out of the ocean, and them fighting which again I was surprised, but then I thought back to the Force Awakens trailer. We saw the end battle in the Force Awakens trailer when Finn's got the saber and Kylo's walking up on him. So I'm like, I actually think that this is the end battle. I mean, I'm leaning towards that, and I love the fact we all talked about it. That the parallel of Episode 3, with
Yeah.
Episode 3 being in the lava, this being in the water,
Fighting on wreckage, middle of the
I feel like this is a glimpse of the end battle.
yeah.
It rhymes. It's like
Totally.
poetry.
Echoes.
yeah, it's true.
But if you look into that, Rey's in her
Exactly.
normal outfit. Kylo's not unmasked. In the poster, like we talked about, he is in his mask, so maybe that's just throwing you off,
Yeah,
or he
could
gets,
just be a
or she
design.
knocks it off of him, whatever. But
Take that.
I actually didn't notice the.
You don't say that.
I didn't notice the laser cannon until you pointed it out.
Yeah.
But that's clearly the Death Star.
Yeah.
The wreckage, you can actually see the wreckage in the background now.
They're on the Death Star for a long time, I think. I think they that could be a whole half of the movie.
Well, it's because it's crazy because in the teaser shot that we saw, it's Poe, Finn, Rey, Chewie, and I think
3PO's there.
or maybe BB-8 or both of them.
Yeah.
And they're all walking up
And
when
Dio,
you
I
first
think,
see
is
the
there.
Death Star in distance. So it's like you're saying, it's like they all go. They're obviously all not here fighting Kylo. It wouldn't make sense to have them. They have to split up at some point.
Well,
but-
JJ, and this is bad because I don't have the full memory here. But didn't he say something about all of them coming together and then like Rey
Adventure,
on an adventure, but then
Rey
having to do something on her own?
Yeah, I think the additional footage that you talked about, Casey. I think in one of the clips of that, she tells Poe. I read that she tells Poe, "I've got to do this on my own." And so I think there is an adventure at first.
Yeah.
But I think she separates from them.
I think in that same clip, I think she says, "I have to do this alone," and then he says, "Like we're going to go with you, or we're doing this together." Because one big thing in the marketing that JJ's always said is this is a movie where they go on the journey together. He's stressed that a couple
I
times.
remember him
really?
saying something
Okay.
about them.
Because like the
being
very first shot we saw, which was them on the jungle,
and it's
planet,
really early on too. I
it's
think is
all
what he
of
said.
them, and he said that's the first scene.
Oh yeah.
In the movie, is they're all
They're all
out
together,
by the Falcon, and it's the jungle, which may be indoor, could be
Yeah.
Yavin 4, not really sure yet.
Something totally cool you don't even know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. What do they do? Like, what's their mission? Because it's clearly leads them. I mean, is the Death Star the end point? I mean, is it leading?
I'm leaning towards that it is.
Do they even know that where they're going? And
I wonder if this is. I mean, is this Endor? Is this
I think it's gotta be right. I mean, there's
not
or
maybe
some
the
other
moon, but maybe it's the planet?
Well, I think
Because
the planet.
remember-
I think the planet's gas. I think
okay.
I think that's canon. I could be totally wrong, but someone will correct me. I'm sure. But
I will. It's not.
there could be another moon, though.
Well, the moon
Could
of
be.
Endor has water. When you see the
Yeah.
outside of it,
What
Yeah.
I'm saying is that not the moon, but the actual planet.
The planet
that
itself.
The moon is.
I think I looked that up at some point and thought that it could be
That wreckage
main
should have
planet,
destroyed
but
all
I think it was
life
gas.
on Endor. But it's Star Wars.
Yeah, but hey, you know,
The atmosphere should have burnt it up. It's so crazy, that explosion.
yeah, it could be because Endor could be a foresty planet and have like tall grass. areas
Endor.
and
Endor is a
water.
gas
And that's
giant
like the
located in
canon
Endor.
side of.
It's on
Wikipedia.
canon. Yeah.
So yeah.
So
that
that wouldn't be right.
Seems
yeah.
like it's Endor, but I mean, it could be another moon that's surrounding
Yeah.
Endor. Oh, yes, the forest moon of Endor. Sorry, I keep wanting to. It doesn't have a name. It just says it's just the forest moon of Endor.
Yeah, it's the forest moon of Endor.
Sanctuary
I mean,
moon.
it's Endor. They call it Endor, but
Yeah.
it's the forest moon of Endor.
My name's K-Pax.
It has Endor has 9 moons
Okay.
surrounding it, so it
Yeah.
could be a different one of the moons.
Endor moon number 3.
I just think at this point, to me, I just think at this point, I mean, again, pure guess, but I feel like at this point, this is when the space battle is going on. It's kind of like the theme of
Yeah.
Star Wars is
Oh,
there's
yeah.
usually 2 battles
Yeah.
going on at once.
Sure,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Like you think the space battle meaning the storm in this, or just another battle that we haven't seen footage of?
No, I think all the Star Destroyers and all that stuff that we saw. I'm starting to think that maybe that's at the same time. I don't think that's why
Interesting.
maybe Rey's not there. Rey's doing this. Poe and them, and
Because it is, I mean, that's choppy seas. But was
Yeah.
it like that when they first saw was there a storm above the Death Star?
I don't think
I
so.
don't
When
think
they
so.
first
I think
saw
there
it?
were water, there were
Was
waves,
I think it was
some waves?
gray skies.
but I don't think it was. Yeah, I think it was.
Golly, I mean, this could be this could all happen very.
But
Very
why are we
quick.
seeing all the ending shots? I don't know. Maybe
And
I
that's
could be wrong.
yeah, like you guys said, the shot could not even be in the movie. Like
That's true.
there's JJ shenanigans.
Was there were because there was stuff in Force Awakens
Shenanigans.
trailers, right? Did we?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was a little bit. I
It's
think,
late.
with Maz and stuff like that. I think there was.
Yeah, Maz handing Leia the
Yeah.
lightsaber wasn't in there.
So yeah.
Okay, so then we obviously get to the.
It could just be a complete and just a,
Well, we hear
a re-showing
different
of
movie.
A New Hope. Like he just like surprise.
Well, we hear.
So
we
it's
hear
kinda stormy.
We hear Palpatine.
It's kind of stormy.
Well, of course, during the trailer, we hear Luke again saying the same lines. Palpatine, at the end of this, says, "Your journey is nearing its end." Is that what he says?
I think so.
Nears its end.
Nears its end. Now, just now, before we started recording, we increased the audio, and because there was
Are you guys buying into this?
Oh,
Listen to it.
We listened to
I-
it.
It sounds like
think it's-
white noise, like ghost white noise.
Sounds like he's
Someone says destroy.
Somebody says destroy something, either him or something. But there's Vader. There's a Vader breath, and there's that kind of episode 1 sound whenever there was Maul shows up,
Uh-huh.
and then of course there's the shot of Rey
Interesting.
with the double-bladed red lightsaber and in dark clothes.
They could make this really scary, man. Like they could make it super creepy, as if he's like haunts. Like he's that's how the Sith live on, is that they haunt certain things. And I mean, looking at this thing again, because earlier we were trying to figure out where she is. That cave in Last Jedi. Did it have panels of some
There's
kind?
no metal.
It was like
Were the mirrors,
The
though?
mirrors were like cracks in the cave, so it was like a natural mirror. It wasn't like
Okay.
all solid. It had
It
like
wasn't- it didn't look
had
like that?
texture to it. I
Okay.
think.
But I mean, it looks like
I think
this-
it did look similar in color. Like it was that light blue, and it had like a crack, like it does.
Yeah, like just I don't know. I think that vision is significant. I think it may not have been Ryan. May have been let's put her in a cave and let's make her see herself. And but I think JJ is going to take some of that stuff that he did and make it awesome. I'm sorry.
I think you should do that, Ryan
It
Johnson.
sounds more like Dave
impression.
Filoni if like the way he looks, like, but like you know,
It'd be sounded the way he looked.
yeah, like
Oh my gosh.
he's a great guy.
We're not going to be able to be asked to be
don't-
at
yeah.
this celebration.
Don't come after me. Don't come after me.
Well, someone kind of thought they basically heard the phrase "I destroyed him" or something like that, and they were, at least this is one of the theories. That
Yeah.
it's audio from Anakin saying in Rebels, like "I destroyed him," referring to Anakin Skywalker to Ahsoka.
Oh.
But that's
So-
a long shot. And
But it's so cool
Kylo
though.
also says when he's on the bridge with Han,
Oh,
he's
right.
like
Yeah.
talking about he's been he's
Yeah.
like something. What does he say? I destroyed.
Yeah,
Ben,
I
or
think he
Ben's
said I
gone
destroyed-
or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
He's gonna destroy- I think he did say that actually.
I did go ahead and ask some of the other guys that have been guests on the show, Casey, their thoughts real fast, like Chad and Russ and Anthony. Anthony's saying he thinks it's Palpatine possessing Rey, and then Chad thinks that he thinks it's Rey during her trials, like Luke on Dagobah, just seeing a vision. And Russ kind of went with that. He thinks that Russ said the shot of her in the trailer looks off, doesn't really seem part of any reality. So they're kind of leaning towards the vision, Force vision, which I am leaning towards also. I'll say that I don't, just purely what I think I know of JJ and what I think I know of marketing, that there's no way that this is going to reveal a huge plot point of the movie. Similar, if you think about it, people were freaking out with Rey holding Kylo's lightsaber
Right.
in The Force Awakens, or in the Last Jedi trailer, right?
Yeah.
The second, I think it was the second trailer.
And she had that for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and everybody thought, "What? She's
Yeah.
turning bad," and because the Praetorian Guards even kind of reacted, with her. So it's like, it's just. So I think. I do not think she does any kind of wardrobe change in this. I think this is a vision.
Hold on, Kylo.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
I'm back.
It's
Now
like, who's
I will say again. I don't know if I would go there totally, but Cody, you said it today. Like, could this possibly be who Rey is cloned after? Now, I actually really
That's
like
so
that
cool.
theory.
Yeah.
I think that's opening a bigger story.
Yeah.
That's not like it's too much to tell in this 2 hours.
Well,
or so.
gotta
I
answer
think what's
everything
interesting with
already.
stuff like that is like who this is and who Rey is. The who Rey is question is
Yeah.
going to be huge for this movie. They've got to answer it somehow, and it's got to
Yeah.
be probably surprising or shocking in some way. otherwise it's going to feel flat for fans because everybody's like, is she a Skywalker? Is she Solo?
Right.
Who, Palpatine, whatever she could be. But you could do something where this could be a vision, but visions in Star Wars aren't just like, I mean, I guess Jedis have visions of the future.
Foresight.
And I guess a few maybe have had visions of what could be to come, but usually it's actually true.
But always emotion is the future.
Yeah, but it seems like it's always true. Like they always actually
sure.
see what happens, even with Anakin. You saw Padme die, she died. Like that happened.
Yes.
But all of Rey's visions have been like past events, or so we think, if that Knights of Ren shot isn't a future
that's true.
vision, except for the Kylo in the forest bit. So like if it is something in the past, like it's a flashback and it's not necessarily her, I think it's possible that it still is a vision. It's still not really real, but it may help explain.
So what about Last Jedi when she's training with Luke and she says, I didn't see you? Is that a foresight maybe? You remember when she sees I saw light, I see dark?
Well, because he cut himself off.
Yeah.
That's why she didn't
True.
feel his force presence or whatever
True.
in that moment.
Yeah.
Did she say there was something in between? Did she say?
Well, that's the Force.
The balance.
The balance.
Speaking of that moment, though, I love it which again kind of leads in the fact why gives credence why she would go dark, where she first feels the presence of the dark side cave, and she like goes into it, and then Luke totally calls her out. Like, you went straight to the dark. You didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
You just went straight there.
Another thing
Like,
that throws me off in this shot is the fact that it's a cracked saber.
It's just like your dark side kit. Like, here's your cracked lightsaber, here's your robe, here's your ring that they get as well. She's wearing some dark side ring. It's like, why all of a like, the complete wardrobe change.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have time for this. So wear what you have, be evil, let's go.
Yeah.
It's like, why would her lightsaber be a switchblade, double-bladed lightsaber if this is just, like, I think somebody had posted this, like, if it's just a vision, why not just put her in dark robes and give her a normal red, or give her a Kylo
Well, you got to have
version,
that cool factor and
Yeah.
to be different about it.
I think
You know
just-
what I mean?
But in a
Yeah, just be
vision,
cool.
why have such a specific lightsaber that does a specific
make it
thing?
feel real.
Unless it's just to sell toys, which it probably
It probably is.
So.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a dark side Rey, even though it may not
I'm buying
be real.
it. I'm buying that. I'm buying that right
switchblade
there.
lightsaber?
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to make it, but they better make it.
How long is that little hinge going to last?
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know. It's going to pinch really bad. I still love you.
Yeah.
I still love you. You're worth the $500.
Yeah, I just I think I think just leaning towards what I just think the reveal of it would be too big here to show. Now, I don't know. Does that? Here's the biggest question I have really that comes from this. To be honest, is that with all the excitement with Palpatine returning, the speculation of what's going to happen with Vader, I don't know. Does it at all to you guys? Does it at all feel like? I'm starting to think. Does it all feel like that we're getting a whole different story than what we got in the first two movies? Like, I know it's the same character carrying you through, but nothing of this was hinted at really in the first two movies. You know what I mean? Like, when you watch episode 4, you know that the struggle is against the Empire and the struggle is against Vader, and then you know about the Emperor and all this stuff. So it's like there's that continuation of that story. Episode 1, obviously, you knew that the Sith have emerged and the Sith are going to eventually take over. It's like in the Force Awakens, yes, again, the introduction was Snoke, right?
I said the S word.
He did do that.
I mean, I don't know. It's almost. I feel like part of me is starting to feel like that. It's like you can almost
with you.
you can almost not even watch 7 and 8, and you can watch 9. I don't.
Well, we have. Yeah, I don't know.
I know I haven't gotten there yet, but
Yeah.
it's like you watch 6 and then jump to 9, and I don't know how much you miss. Yeah, obviously I don't know yet because I haven't seen the movie yet, but.
Just from this, you're saying
You know,
the feeling you're getting?
That's what I'm getting that there's nothing in this movie. Again, when I saw the trailer for episode 3, I knew everything that was in there in a sense, besides obviously how Anakin fully falls and all this stuff. But you kind of knew you kind of knew the storyline, where it was heading.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these things are popping up really out of nowhere. That's why when I start hearing about, okay, well, it's artifact, it's Sith possession. It's like that's a big thing to introduce in this movie, the last movie.
It's a lot of explaining.
It's a lot of explaining. People don't all read the
see it?
comics or know that whole thing. So I don't know. Cloning is another. I mean, yes, we had Clone Wars, but we never had people really getting cloned. The whole storyline of Dark Empire right here that's laying on our desk here, with Palpatine having his backup plan, and that was, he had a cloning facility that his spirit kind of. So it's like, do you introduce that? Is Palpatine a clone, or is this? I don't know. There's a lot of new things getting introduced. I just don't know if there's. I do think the biggest thing is her patronage, her parents. I mean, I do think that's a big question that's lingered throughout this trilogy. Anyway, I don't know. That's just kind of the part of the feeling.
I agree with you because it is, like you're saying, the villain, usually in a trilogy, you lead up to the fight. Harry Potter, it's Voldemort, Voldemort, all those movies, and then you get the final battle with Voldemort. Even Return of the Jedi, you knew it was going to be Vader and the Emperor, and that's what you get. And this one, it's Snoke, and then all of a sudden they off Snoke, and then you're just like, I guess it's Kylo. But I mean, at least where I come from, going into Rise of Skywalker, I kind of feel like Kylo's not even the main villain. Well, obviously he's not now because they have Palpatine's last. But like, I think Kylo is on this path of redemption. I think it's kind of the seeds they might plant, but that's a whole nother debate. So it's like, if they explain it the right way, and Palpatine was manipulating Snoke, did lure Ben to the dark side to become Kylo, I think it'll be satisfying, but is it going to be hard for the non-fans to pick up? Because we know Palpatine's been around. We were reading Dark Empire. Yeah, we know about all these ideas and cloning, and maybe we're more open to things like possession and things like that could happen. But I think you might be right. I think for the average person, if I take Jen to go see Rise of Skywalker and they introduce a bunch of Palpatine clones and he's possessing people and he possesses Rey or Kylo or both or whatever, and then Rey is like a clone of another person who she's just going to look at me and be like, what's going on? And then I have to explain it. So it's like, you don't want that to happen in a movie. Right. You want to just wash over you and go on the journey. So I don't know how they're going to answer.
Yeah, I feel like you want questions answered, but not introduce new questions to get answered. You know what I mean? Like, I think what's there in 7 and 8 needs to be answered.
Oh, yeah. It's going to take so long.
Which is definitely whether or not Kylo would be redeemed, who are Rey's parents, how is Palpatine alive? I mean, to me, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can introduce really more questions and then answer them in the 2.5 hours that you're going to have.
I want Vader's helmet. I want her vision explained. I want that.
Yeah, you sent us a list in a text.
There's a list that I have to know, and then I was immediately.
But do they stem from the previous movies, or do they just stem from what you've learned now in Episode 9?
Well, what I'll segue is I was comforted and snuggled by J.J. Abrams, who literally said all the questions and answers, they will all be answered. All the plot holes will be filled.
Did he tell you this?
This is what he said in the D23 in one of the things.
Did he call you at home?
He called me. He said, Cory, look, it's gonna be
you up.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
Cory, it's JJ. You up?
Shh, you up? Shh, it's okay. So yeah, I think all of it will be. I think we're gonna walk away from this completely satisfied and fulfilled. I think, he said there's not going to be any cliffhangers. He said I'm not that type of director. He seemed very very JJ about it. So
I did read an article where he was saying that, but it was like a jokey article because he was like making fun of himself about Lost, is what it sounded like.
Oh, really? Yeah, right.
He's like, I'm not going to make anybody end up like in some kind of purgatory or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, that's good stuff.
So, okay, so you getting this feeling at all or no?
I think it'll be, I think will be revealed more than what we think, obviously, because we haven't seen that much. But like Kylo's whole plan, we don't know what. There's a lot of rumors that I think seem like they're starting to come true, possibly about his long con kind of theory, where he's, like in like Dark Empire kind of thing, where he took on this mantle of got to dive into the dark side, into this villainous role.
Yeah, so got to finish what you started.
Defeat the Sith and truly defeat evil, but he's lost himself along the way, and he's actually becoming the villain. So I think if that is the plan, that will be fully realized in this, where like his part of his plan is to bring back the Emperor in order to destroy him. So it's like he's becoming the villain, but he's doing that so he can be the ultimate. Maybe he's not trying to, but basically he'll be the ultimate hero and the ultimate sacrifice. But yeah, I mean, you're right. You definitely have a good point, but I just think that there's still a lot yet to be.
Yeah.
So they could soften you up with the marketing. A lot of movies do things like this, and I don't have specific examples of ones that are really hard to solve, but you do run into the issue, like you're saying, of like a Spider-Man 3 type situation. Not that it's going to be anything like that. Don't think that, but you introduce too many
Too much stuff.
characters, too many new things, and then it just goes off the rails.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want to do that. But in the marketing, they could start to just maybe they're not going to tell us how Palpatine comes back, but if they start to the final trailer, it's like, hey, maybe that's Palpatine right there, or like, hey, he's hanging out on the Death Star. Like they could start to give people those ideas, so when you go in the movie, you know a little more because you saw the trailer everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
Oh man.
Yeah,
It's
so
hard. It's hard
last thing
stuff.
for everybody is, if you can, so then what is the? No, this might be hard. What is the one question you need answered right now after seeing that? What's the number one question
After seeing the teaser, or just
after seeing this?
Or the-
now that you've
Well,
speculated what you have now,
more
what is
than
the one?
Now more than ever, it was that conversation I think Kylo had with Vader's helmet. That's like, because that was one thing that it's like, what happened? Like you're just like whatever happened with that? There were so many things that just didn't connect from Awakens to The Last Jedi.
So
and then
the significance of Vader's helmet,
the significance of that line that he said that says, I want to finish what you started, because that could be different things, because Vader finished what Vader started, as in killing all the Jedi, or finish what Vader started, because he called him grandfather. So is he referring to Anakin, where what Anakin wanted to do, which was kill the Emperor, start his new empire, with Padme? Like, what? I don't know. It's
you
like,
could go one step further, and does he know what Vader did? Finish what he started by defeating Palpatine.
Yeah.
Does he know Palpatine?
Does he even
Does he
know
know?
Palpatine? Yeah, I don't.
Who knows?
Okay, that's a good one though.
Okay.
That's a good
That
one.
is a good one. Ooh.
Case, yeah. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll do mine.
ahead.
And honestly, this is a brand new question I have that just came up because of all this. Now is again leaning on this reintroduction of Palpatine is why now? Why 30 years after he died? Why take so long? Like, I mean, there had to have been this whole plan, I guess, but I'm not sure why it took so long. Waiting for Ben Solo to be, waiting for a Skywalker to reemerge so he can take him again. I don't know. That's the only thing. And partially is that I'm wondering, which I do believe it was, but I'm wondering, was this the plan all along from 7? Was Palpatine, the reintroduction of Palpatine, the plan all along?
that would be a really cool revelation, like to go back. And like, what if he was in different spots this whole time and we didn't even see him?
Well, that's what
Yeah.
JJ
Where
has
have you been?
said, that
Yeah.
it'll make sense. It'll be like, oh
Yeah.
yeah. And then I think he's even gone to say that this has been kind of part of the plan. But whether or not
I think it has.
that's-
I think
yeah.
I think partially it has. I do.
Yeah.
God,
They knew the
that-
beats,
that
but maybe not
foresight,
necessarily
that-
the details of how to get there.
And that's why, I
perhaps.
mean, you never know. That's why maybe Ryan was told you had to kill Snoke. Like, you have to kill Snoke because we're bringing Palpatine back. I don't know.
I love the idea that Kylo kills Snoke. I just
Yeah.
don't know what Snoke is doing in the movie.
Agreed. Yeah,
Why even talk?
that's a bottom level question. That wish we could answer.
Let's just not get into.
But wait, why
Is that
Snoke again?
I want them to answer though
You cannot
who
beat
Snoke is, just so I can get the 6-pack from Cory.
Yeah.
Just so someone
Sweet
says it.
Snoke nectar. No, but real question is probably on it, and this may be the easy one. Is how does Palpatine come back in the movie? Is it possession? Does he have a lot of clones that he body jumps? Is he in
Why would you
Vader's
clone
helmet?
your old body though? Clone your young.
Have you not seen Multiplicity? You don't clone yourself. You don't clone the clone.
But yeah, like is he inside of Vader's helmet
Doug,
like an artifact,
Right.
dark side sort of presence? I just want to know how he comes back, and I think
Yes.
we'll obviously get that question. I would assume.
I guess mine is just what is the grand scheme plan of Rey's involvement? Like I think that there's just more to it. I mean, I don't think they're going to introduce anything new that. Like, let's see, how should I phrase it? There's more to it than what we've already found out about her parents, which I just have to believe that. Like the cave of mirrors, I've always said there's got to be more to it. I don't think Kylo lied. I think he saw what he saw, and he told Rey what he saw. He just kind of made the conclusion based on what he saw. I don't think that necessarily means that her parents were those people that Kylo thought he saw. He just made that connection and used it against Rey. So whether or not Rey has a parent, again, like I try to take what was in the Cave of Mirrors very literally. It's like, she saw multiple versions of herself. Is that because now is she a clone? That there's many clones of her, or of the Palpatine, clone where she's one of many, whether or not they all look like her, but and also she has no parents. She saw two figures become one. Is that Cody's theory about the original Rey and whatever, young Matt Smith, I don't know, as young Palpatine, whatever. But I don't know. I think there's just different ways. I think there's now it opens that question up even more for me now.
That vision,
seeing this trailer, so
very significant.
I want there to be a grand plan for Rey, and that's I guess that's my main question: is what is that plan, and has been Palpatine's plan to use Rey? Is that what he's been waiting for Rey to come back? Because she was lost for a while. Because maybe she was being groomed as this, and then she was
lost.
Wow, one job to do.
Yeah.
So something like that. Because I mean, again, it's Jakku. We all know because we read Aftermath how important it is. It can't all be coincidence. So
what if she was the one clone that?
That's true.
Got to be grand scheme plan there.
That had the Force.
The clone that got away.
Yeah,
it's the
That's
spinoff movie.
Good one. I'm going to be thinking
Disney Plus series.
I'm going to be thinking of that one.
All good stuff. So yeah, a lot to talk about still as we lead up to Rise of Skywalker here in less than, I think it was 115 days I saw today. Wow. Yeah, because I saw 2 days for Galaxy's Edge, and then 115 days from now is Episode 9, December 20th. Of course, December 19th will be the evening that I'm sure we see it. Yeah, unbelievable. Just real quick as we close out, the timeline was actually released. We kind of been hinting at that throughout this episode. The timeline of the movies and TV series was released. It kind of laid out exactly when things happen. I think it was official confirmation that Rise of Skywalker takes place a year after The Last Jedi. We heard the rumor or whatever, but that clearly shows it. A lot of other things, like we talked about when the Cassian series lands and Obi-Wan and all that stuff. So, so that's out there. I'm actually making a new timeline because I didn't like the way that one looked.
So wacky.
I'm actually I'll put that out here in a couple days.
It looks really good.
Oh, yours looks
thanks.
great.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
The other one is just
so look for that. I'm
silly.
going to post that here soon when I get kind of cleaned up and some. We're going to put the stars in the background and all that stuff. So that. Look for that. Book releases this Tuesday. Black Spire comes out. The novel Galaxy's Edge Black Spire comes out. The character, the name fails. I failed to remember the character name. That's right. You're right.
Or something.
So that character actually is walking around Galaxy's Edge,
right.
and that part I didn't understand why they put Galaxy's Edge on the timeline.
Yeah.
But they actually have a Galaxy's Edge line in between 7 or 8 and 9 is when Galaxy's Edge. So the park Galaxy's Edge right now, the time period is in this Age of Resistance time period.
It helps everybody's stories get everybody's stories straight.
That's right.
I mean, if they've heard rumors about things, they know.
Yeah. I mean, they
know
have the
what they're
set
talking
built. They
about.
can do a whole series from Batuu now.
I'm surprised. I mean, I don't know. I'm just surprised like Batuu hasn't shown up in the marketing for 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
I assumed it would just
Yeah.
because like, hey, go to Batuu. It's in the movie.
If they want to tie it so perfectly, and this is like Dark Knight level cool bar marketing, is if someone got the gall to ask Batuan about Palpatine, if they've heard rumors of Palpatine,
man.
and they'd be like,
Ooh.
I'm
would
gonna
be
ask
all
when I
like-
go. I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, they'd be
Ooh.
like,
I'm gonna ask.
what are you talking about? Like, we don't talk about that here, or something like. They give
Yeah,
you
I
like,
heard
Yeah.
Palpatine's back.
yeah, they give you like
Yeah.
evidence of like, oh, you better
I
stop. You
love
better
that.
not
I
mention
love
that,
that.
or something like that. You know, that'd be so cool.
Yeah. Or you get the one
Take
guy
it
who's
back
like,
for him and it's
Yeah,
Ian McDermott.
it
he's
is
the one guy who takes out his notes like,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. We don't supposed to say. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
I mean,
We're talking
obviously
about-
they couldn't say anything spoilery, but besides of the fact of like giving you a hint that they know something.
The bathrooms are that way. Does that help you at all?
Yeah. I do want to give a quick shout out because I've actually had a little Twitter conversation with one of our listeners, Mark, who's over in Melbourne, Australia.
Hey,
He says, "Hey to everybody."
I've lost.
I'm not even doing it. Yeah.
He's
No,
don't do
just
it.
never mind.
Yeah, we were talking back and forth about Ray, his thoughts about that. So, thanks for listening,
Cool,
Mark. Appreciate it. We do just a reminder: join our Facebook group. Go to Inside the Force on Facebook. You can get a link right there to our Facebook group. Just answer a couple questions. It'll get you in there. I think that's everything. Right?
Is it?
Everything.
Until
That's
next.
everything. Until next week. Yeah. That's about it. Final thoughts? Anybody? Exciting times.
Exciting
right now.
times.
Just ready to watch this movie
Give me-
right now.
I want more bad guys, more Sith. Bring it on.
Good guys.
More bad guys.
Bad guys.
Bad guys. Red lightsabers. Force lightning. Cackling.
Cackling.
Do it.
Did you see the Sith army knife though?
Yes,
Oh, all the things pop out.
he flips it. Yeah, flip out.
Awesome. Ching.
Perfect.
Swiss Army knife. Yeah.
Sith army knife. Yeah.
Love the internet.
Anyway, yeah, that's great. Whoever did that.
I like when they did that with Kylo too. When Kylo, they just gave it a ton of crossbar,
Yeah.
everything was crossed like a whole bunch of times. It just was.
Someone reposted it and said, "Whoever made this, God bless you."
yeah, I know.
So this is what.
Thank you for doing it
internet's for.
justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm assuming I didn't even ask a question. I'm assuming everybody's getting Disney Plus when it comes out.
Sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
And I'll actually get it. We'll all actually have our own
yeah.
thing.
You
We
can
won't
use mine,
share.
Budget
whatever.
for it.
All
give
right.
it-
Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks Corey for showing up.
My
Cody.
pleasure.
Yeah, of course. Loved it.
And for Casey Cooley.
Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay then.
Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them. That's the way. It is what it is.
I won't.
Oh, that's episode 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was
Yeah.
thinking like, where did that
Your
happen?
eyes
Oh,
can
yeah.
deceive you. Don't trust them.
The Falcon.
Yep.
Thanks everybody.
Very poignant.
Yeah.
Have a great rest of the week. Talk to you guys next week. For Casey,
Goodbye, everybody.
Cody,
See you around.
Corey,
Goodbye.
I'm Dave. May the Force be with you.